Dude, I love this so much.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
I'm never going to lay off the point that Gregg Popovich can stay with the San Antonio Spurs as long as he wants to. I love this so much. So I definitely want to show you guys this if you haven't already heard or you haven't seen this already. This is basically Will Hardy talking about him departing the San Antonio Spurs to go to Boston, and obviously now him being, the Utah Jazz coach. But I absolutely love this so much. So he talks about his conversation he had with Pop when it came to leaving the San Antonio Spurs, and Pop's reaction. It just shows what type of person he is. This is great. Just listen.
It was hard. It was a hard conversation with Pop because, I felt in debt to him and to the organization because, I'm comfortable saying that I worked really hard and that I tried to be a good person, but I'm also not naive to the fact that, the Spurs made me in some ways. They continued to give me opportunity on top of opportunity, and they were always so good to me and my family. And so it was hard. I went to Pop, and basically, it's like, if you don't want me to go, I won't go. And, in typical Pop fashion, he never for 1 second made me feel guilty or how could you do this to me?
Wow.
He was very matter of fact. Let's talk about the good reasons to go, and let's talk about the negatives of going, and let's talk about it. And he and I sat down and had a really long conversation, and by the end, he was great. He's basically, you have to go. It was hard.
I said this so many times. Popovich always keep things in perspective. No matter what it is, he's going to keep things in perspective. And I think that that's one of his strongest qualities as a head coach, as a leader, as a mentor, everything. I absolutely love me some Gregg Popovich. And not only that, I do want to say this because quite a few people say, oh, it's time for Pop to leave. Oh, he's lost touch. I don't think so. I think that the way that Pop thinks about things, the way that he goes about life, I think it kind of helps him and tailors him to be able to coach no matter what generation it is, no matter what era of basketball you're in, he would be a good coach in that era. I mean, if you look back at the Spurs in 1999 and you look at the Spurs in 2014, it's a completely different makeup. It's a completely different way in which how they approach the game. Popovich, all he really needs to be successful, as any coach needs, is a superstar. And I feel like from there, he'll figure the rest out. And I just absolutely love him so much. And I think that this is another reason why we need to sit back and say, stop trying to push Gregg Popovich out the door. Let him be the Spurs head coach. As long as he's having a good time, as long as he's able to keep coaching at the capacity in which he's coaching, because I think he is still the best coach in the NBA. You could say otherwise, but I think the only things he is missing is talent. Even this past season, I'll be honest, I was not expecting this team to win as many games as they did. As the season went on, I was very shocked by some of the games that they pulled out. But not only that, a lot of these games were fairly close. And any other coach, I don't know if they would have been able to take this roster and did even that with it. Now, I'm not trying to give credit for losing because obviously the team wasn't good. And I would have much rather us just lost some of those games. But with that being said, I don't think that you can really make any type of basketball argument for pushing Popovich out the door at all. I don't think basketball alone you can make any type of argument. Now, some people might say, hey, Popovich needs to go because he's trying to win, and maybe you bring in a coach that is okay with the tank and you just roll on through. And maybe that's an argument, but honestly, Pop is the San Antonio Spurs. And I'm not only saying that he needs to stay because he is the San Antonio Spurs, but because over this tenure that he's been here, he's been able to adjust through era to era. And I think he's still adjusting. Like he's still doing a phenomenal job. And I love seeing things like this. And you can even see the branch from Popovich still prevailing. Now, I do hope once Popovich does leave that it is a coach that's under his branch. Whether it be Brett Brown, I don't know. But what I really want is Messina to come back. I would be ecstatic for that. Okay, I think that will be a worthy enough coach to come after Pop. But other than that, look, all I'm trying to say is Pop is the GOAT. I love seeing this so much. It shows his heart. It shows what type of person he is. And this is why he's special. This is why he's a great leader. This is why he's a great coach. And if you say otherwise, I think you're just wrong. You're just wrong. Anyways, I'll get with you guys later. If you want to support the channel, only $2 per month, Patreon and YouTube links below. Until next time, man, deuces.